Good evening. We will call the March 4th, 2024 general meeting of the Niagara Falls Water Board to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic
which stands one nation under God, indivisible,
with
liberty.
liberty and justice for all.
Welcome. If you have your cell phone on your person, please put it on mute at this time. Mr. Costello, would you be so kind enough to call the roll?
Board Member Askelaar. Here. Chairman Forster.
Here.
Board Member Kimball.
Here.
Board Member Larkin.
Here.
Board Member Leffler.
I'm on Zoom.
Mr. Costello, do we have any public speakers at this time?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. No comments from me. Do we have any presentations scheduled?
None scheduled, Mr. Chairman.
Letters of communications, Mr. Costello.
The regular COVID wastewater surveillance update memorandum and a copy of the quarterly progress report submitted in connection with the order on consent for the wastewater treatment plant. Copies of those, all of those quarterly reports are posted to the website.
Thank you, sir. If the board can look at F, prior meeting minutes from draft from January 22nd, take a look at that, and if we can get a motion or any objections on it.
Motion to approve.
A motion by board member Larkin. Seconded by board member Askelaar on the question. None being heard, call the roll, please.
Board Member Askelaar.
Yes.
Board Member Kimball.
Yes.
Board Member Larkin.
Yes.
Board Member Leffler.
Yes.
Chairman Forster.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Mr. Eagler?
Good evening. Outside of Friday's AED report, the only thing to add is we're progressing on the environmental lab today. We're going to start taking up that floor. We started removing some of the snow items outside the building. I did a power scrub, and outside of that, we did review our EAP again today. We're going to have to tweak it a little bit before the final one is put up.
Any board member have any questions for Mr. Eagler? None being heard. Thank you, Mr. Eagler. We'll go over to the operations executive, Mr. Conti, please.
Board members. All I have is that our confined space inventory has begun, and I have begun procuring our fall arrest equipment for confined space entry.
Did any board member have any questions for Mr. Conti? None being heard. Thank you, Mr. Conti. We'll go to the outside, chief of the outside, Mr. Bradbury, please.
Evening. Starting this spring, we have our lead replacement program starting, where we'll be using both VACCONs to hydro excavate service boxes to determine what type of plumbing is on the other side of the wood. And all the team leaders have on their company phones app that's that we just downloaded the other week in the training, that we will have all this information, that we can get that computed into the system. Also, our hydrant program is on track this year. Our goal for the year is 100 hydrants, and as of today, we have replaced 25 hydrants.
He's a lot more than the last chief. Huh. Okay, any board member have any questions for Mr. Bradbury?
How many hydrants are you gonna replace total this year? Excuse me? How many total hydrant replacements this year?
Well, the goal is 100, and right now, we are on schedule to surpass that.
Surpassed 100.
Well, that's because of the outstanding leadership that he's
Yeah.
working under now.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
Mr.
right.
Bradbury.
Oh,
Engineering, Mr. Williamson, please.
Evening. We received 7 proposals from engineering consultants for Niagara Falls Water Capital Engineering Services RFP on February 19th. We had a proposal review meeting on Friday. And amongst the group, we kind of narrowed it down to a couple of consultants. And we feel like not spreading this all out, it'll make it easier for us to bundle the projects and put them out in a package. And we also, the consultants using, over various projects going simultaneously that can do the, inspection and construction administration services. So we figure that a good cost savings for us. And we're hoping to award this work at the March board meeting.
Okay, any, we have anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, any board member have any questions for engineering with Mr. Williamson? Thank you.
Yep.
We'll go next over to personnel. Mr. San Lorenzo, please.
Good evening. Board. First order is, under personnel actions recommended to hire. These are actually job specs, building and ground supervisors, replacement for the current crew leader. Job title, and which is 1984, a little antiquated and old. This would bring us up to speed. That job has been open now for a few months. And the position would then go to civil service for approval. It'd be cleaned up as we've been cleaning up a lot of our job specs. Number 2 is a lead service line inspector, the same. It's a new job spec. The title was created for a temporary position to assist in the regulatory requirements associated with lead service line inventory out in the city. And this would be mostly reimbursable by a grant. That position also would go to civil service for approval. Under B, recommended promotion or move appointment is environmental laboratory technical director. That position also would go to civil service to get the approval for that position. This title be created for the responsibility consolidating laboratories, anticipated possible internal promotion, and this would make our labs much more efficient. On the bottom, one of those, the CDT trainee is now back to work on the disability side. We have one person out on workers' comp.
Any board member have any questions for Mr. San Lorenzo? None being heard. Well, let's, if the board so chooses, we can do A and B together. We can do A separate from B, whatever the board chooses.
move to vote on A and B together.
Motion on the floor is to move A and B together by Board Member Larkin,
I'll second.
second by Board Member Ashklar on the question. None being heard. Call the roll, Mr. Costello.
Board Member Asklar?
Yes.
Board Member Kimball?
Yes.
Board Member Larkin?
Yes.
Board Member Leffler?
Who's board member left?
Board Member Leffler appears to have dropped off the call. Chairman Forster.
Yes.
Motion passes.
You have anything else, Mr. San Lorenzo? Any board member have any questions for for personnel?
No, I just want to bring up one point on this unit time paid by water board. What's included in the packet is 2023 year to date, and then
Oh,
it's
no.
time period of January 1st, 2024, February 17th of 2023. It's a little confusing.
Yeah, I'll correct it. I just did it. from
Yeah,
the
it's
other-
so it's accurate.
First to the
reflecting
23rd. Okay. Yep.
So this
We
is for
started again in
January to the middle of
2024.
February.
Yes.
All right.
We started a new year.
This was dated to account for when we were supposed to have minutes, the actual
Okay.
February board meeting.
Got it. Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Let's, I'm sorry.
Chairman Forster, I have a question with this paid off for union time business. How are we tracking compared to last year?
About the same. Somebody was left and somebody replaced him.
Copy that.
Yeah.
All set?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Joyce from IT, please.
Good evening. I'm happy to report that we implemented Darktrace that uses artificial intelligence as part of our cybersecurity now. In the same time, we made changes to our email to stop people being able to spoof our domain. We also upgraded the Gorge SCADA system, and we're putting together a project to install IP cameras, change the analog in the elevator to voice over IP, and have a cellular failover in case we do lose internet connection down there. We're currently rewiring the lab here so we can move the wastewater lab and equipment up to this location. CISA has been doing weekly hygiene assessments, cyber assessments, and I'm happy to report we don't have any critical or high vulnerabilities detected. We received all the equipment for Verkada, which is a door access system and IP cameras. We started rolling out the IP cameras. We have training in April for the door access system, and then we're going to put together a plan on how to implement that. And lastly, we deploy some computers using Windows 11. Windows 10 is going to be end of service next year. And we're also looking to Azure Cloud to move the servers to, since our current environment, which is VMware, is how we're hosting it now. They're changing the way they do licensing. So that might increase. And it might be more cost effective to move to Microsoft Azure Cloud as a government.
Board member have any questions for IT, Mr. Joyce? Thank you, Mr. Joyce. Number 9, the O&M report for your review. We'll go to 10, Mr. Ricardo and safety, please.
Did you miss our finance?
Oh, I missed finance. Strike that, Mr. Ricardo. Mr. Makowitz in finance, and my apologies.
The only thing I have in addition is we had the auditors in the week of February 19th. Seems like everything went pretty smooth. They should have their come present at the work session, next work session.
Super. Any board member have any questions for Mr. Makowitz in finance? Thank you. Now we'll go back to my last mistake, Mr. Ricardo over in safety, please.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, the safety committee continues to meet every other week. We're identifying issues, and some of the resolutions are easy. We're correcting them, and some of them take a little bit longer to correct, but we are identifying safety issues along the way. One of the things I want to mention, this last February, we had Nellie Brown come in from Western New York, Gosh, and she did a safety analysis on the disinfection process in the water plant. And what a safety or what a process analysis really is they look at the entire process and they break it down and they run it forward and they run it backwards and they interject different scenarios in case something breaks down or something doesn't go right. And it proved to be a really good exercise. I talked to Rob Rowe afterwards, and the operators participated in it. And she's going to go down and do the same thing at the wastewater in April. So it really worked out pretty good. And I was glad that she came down and did that. She's Dave, what is she? An industrial hygienist. So she has a background in, that kind of work. And like I say, she's going to be done a wastewater in April, first part of April. The other thing too is I just want to mention real quick is we've been given 2 internships from where are the internships from? Correct. Right. NIWEA. This summer program. We've got a call out to the Niagara Falls Board of Education already, and I have not heard any response from them.
So, good. Any board member have any questions for Mr. Cardo over in safety? None being heard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing else from me. General Counsel, Mr. Costello.
Mr. Chairman, I don't believe there's anything that's not addressed in the resolutions, but I will highlight the settlement of the personal injury litigation with William Lobianco that resolves one of our older outstanding personal injury matters. And that is all from me.
Got it. Thank you. Any board member have any questions for General Counsel, Mr. Costello? None being heard. Let's go into resolutions, please.
Mr. Chairman, the first resolution is 2024-03001, procurement from New York State Office of General Services Information Technology Umbrella Contract. That resolution is found on page 90 of the packet.
Move it.
Moved by Board Member Kimball,
I'll second.
seconded by Board Member Larkin. On the question. None being heard. Call the roll, please.
Board Member Askelar?
Yes.
Board Member Kimball?
Yes.
Board Member Larkin?
Yes.
Board Member Leffler?
Yes.
Chairman Forster?
Yes.
Motion passes. Mr. Chairman, the next resolution is 2024-03002, award bid for water treatment plant emergency chlorine scrubber. The resolution begins on page 95 of the packet.
Thank you, Mr. Costello.
I'll move it.
Moved by Board Member Leffler,
I'll second.
with a second by Board Member Larkin. On the question. None being heard. Call the roll, please.
Board Member Askelar?
Yes.
Board Member Kimball?
Yes.
Board Member Larkin?
Yes.
Board Member Leffler?
Yes.
Chairman Forster?
Yes.
Motion passes. The next resolution is 2024-03003, authorizing settlement of personal injury litigation with William Lobianco, found on page 101 of the packet.
Move it.
Moved by Board Member Larkin,
Second.
seconded by Board Member Ashklar. On the question. None being heard. Call the roll, please.
Board Member Askelar?
Yes.
Board Member Kimball?
Yes.
Board Member Larkin?
Yes.
Board Member Leffler?
Yes.
Chairman Forster?
Yes.
Motion passes. The next resolution is 2024-03004, authorizing CPL Engineering Services for the replacement of additional section of 77th Street water main. That resolution begins on page 103 of the packet.
Move it.
Move, excuse me, moved by Board Member Larkin,
I'll second.
seconded by Board Member Loeffler. Question? None being heard. Call the roll, Mr. Costello.
Board Member Askelar,
Yeah.
Board Member Kimball,
Yes.
Board Member Larkin,
Yes.
Board Member Leffler,
Yes.
Chairman Forster.
Yes.
Motion passes. Mr. Chairman, the final resolution in the packet has been renumbered 2024-03005, entitled Project 1 Change Order for Wastewater Treatment Plant Sedimentation Basin Number 2 Catwalk Concrete Repairs. This resolution, although renumbered, is the same as a resolution that appeared in the board's January packet.
Move the table.
Second.
Move the table, second by Board Member Kimball. On the question. You know, this is a continuation of the same resolution that was in front of the board last month. And it's prudent for the board to receive 3 competitive bids and not just go with the continuation of work. You never know what kind of price is a good price or a bad price without an RFP. Call a roll, please.
Board Member Askelar,
Yeah.
Board Member Kimball,
Yes.
Board Member Larkin,
Yes to table.
Board Member Leffler,
Yes to table.
Chairman Forster.
Yes to table.
Motion to table passes. That's the end of the resolutions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Costello. Mr. Eagler, regarding that last resolution, I don't know where we're at with that RFP to get that cement work done in the basin.
Last week, or earlier the week before, Doug had James Davidson there, an engineering firm. We have been asked to remove the top plate of one of the mixers so they can conduct a concrete test on it to see if it needs to be completely replaced or if it could just be repaired. We have not removed the top of the plate yet. We will do it sometime this week.
Yeah, and I think one of the, you know, it would be great if we had a joint venture between the local Mason Union, all right, and the water board, and maybe we can enter into some sort of agreement with board approval. They can come in and do the work. We can hire them directly.
Once James Davidson gives us a recommendation, a complete replacement or repair, we'll know more.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you. Does any board member have any, anything in their old or new business? None being heard, then we can adjourn the meeting.
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn by Board Member Larkin.
Second. I'll second.
There was a couple seconds there. It's a tie. So the second will be Board Member Loeffler and Board Member Kimball on the question.
Board Member Askelar,
Yes, adjourn.
Board Member Kimball,
Yes to adjourn.
Board Member Larkin,
Yes to adjourn.
Board Member Leffler,
Yes.
Chairman Forster.
Yes.
The time is
Thank you to each of you.
5:26.
How we get through that meeting with we had no executive session or anything?